During that performance, someone wrote this note on a paper tablecloth, tore it off, and passed it up to the bandstand, and it reads,
"We are listening to you. You are phenomenal. You say you're not recording any of it? You are at your prime together. Please record it, if for no one else but yourselves to know how utterly talented you are together. Dallas, Fort Worth, Northern California, Washington State residents."
The band Generations will celebrate our one-year anniversary with a performance at the Chicago Jazz Festival on September 6th, 2015. And so the name Generations speaks to the historical jazz influences and legacies and lineages that echo through each of us. As we know, at age 26, Miles Davis was mentored by Dizzy Gillespie. And in kind, just over 26 years later, Miles became my mentor and entrusted me to be his musical director for his bands and to work as a composer, arranger, and producer on 3 of his pivotal albums during the 1980s. Ironically and fortunately, the second of those albums inspired a young woman in Paris, France, to study music.
Je me présente, Laurence d'Estival Irving, cofondatrice et créatrice du concept du groupe Robert Irving III Generation. Lorsque j'avais 14 ans dans mon pays natal à Paris en France, ma mère avait acheté l'album Decoy de Miles Davis, produit en 1984 par le grand compositeur pianiste Robert Irving III. Ma mère et moi avons écouté cet enregistrement tous les jours pendant plus d'un an. Le son de cette musique cosmique m'a inspiré pour étudier le saxophone alto dans le but de jouer un jour avec Miles Davis.
A couple of years ago, Laurence and I went on to get married. And last year, as I was planning an annual Miles Davis birthday tribute, she had the inspired and brilliant idea that instead of using the Miles alums as I had been doing from year to year, to actually work with the young students that I was myself mentoring, just as Miles had done, just as Dizzy had done for Miles. And so that's how Generations was born.
Aujourd'hui, le fait de jouer dans le groupe Generations peut-être me permet d'imaginer ce que serait de jouer avec Miles Davis.
So it's not so surprising that 26 years after my experience with Miles Davis that I too would become a mentor. And in my case with the Jazz Institute's Jazz Links program here in Chicago.
I started in the Jazz Links mentoring program when I was in about 8th grade. And Robert Irving III was one of our guest mentorees. And he challenged us right away.
As a member of Generations, the growth and the evolution of Irvin Pierce as a saxophonist is absolutely amazing. The other things that I really enjoy about the group Generations is playing with my cousin, Mr. Charles Heath, who's currently the drummer for the Ramsey Lewis Band, and he toured with Oprah Winfrey's musical The Color Purple. Charles is also a youth mentor and music educator, so we share that passion for nurturing the next generation of great young jazz artists.
You know, we keep the music alive, we keep the next generation to come informed, and we just give them what so many people gave to us, and that's a chance to play music, to learn, and to just create.
I feel very fortunate to be able to bring together 6 very talented musicians in the development of a vision. And each player creatively, synergistically, and energetically contribute elements that give the music life and expansion, even beyond my vision as a composer. This is especially true of our guitarist, Scott Hesse.
One of the things I most enjoy about working with Generations is Bobby writes music that allows each of us to really bring our personalities into the music. His music is very specific in some ways, but very open-ended in others. It's a great balance of improvisation and composition. We each have a foundation that we work from, and then we jump from there, but we jump together.
The music I've composed for Generations literally comes from dreams. And so I take these impressions from this other world of experience. And as an arranger, I define, develop, expanding, reshaping, and refining the music. And then all this is reinterpreted by these very intuitive players.
Of each of us musically is really felt.
Some of the group members of the band Generation, they don't say the name of our saxophonist, Rajiv Halim. They sing it, Rajiv Halim. And that kind of gives you an idea of his value with the group. Rajiv also came through the Jazz Links mentoring program, and as a band leader himself, he has a very high sense of aesthetics that he brings to the band.
Myself, being an aspiring composer, I'll say, I guess, it's really inspiring to play Robert's compositions and really see how they work, you know, especially being one of the people playing them, I can really see how they work.
I appreciate that the band is this collection of unique energies with various members coming from different backgrounds and disciplines. A perfect example, our bass player Emma Dayhuff grew up in Montana and migrated to Chicago to work as a recording engineer with one of our world-class orchestras.
When I got to Chicago, playing with a group like Generations was a little bit beyond things that I had imagined for myself beforehand. Each soloist builds from something, some tiny idea, and the energy of the group just gets so intense. And as the bass player, you have to kind of keep things grounded. Someone told me once that as the bass player, you have roots. You're like a tree, and you have roots that go into the ground, and if you don't keep those roots into the ground, everybody else goes flying. So.
Excited to be recording with this band. This is probably one of the funnest bands I've ever played in by far.
We've been performing pretty regularly, especially over the last couple of months, so the tunes have gotten more and more tight as time has gone on, and I think we're very ready to go in.
It's a great opportunity for everybody to just take a part and help us meet our goal and just give back to the young people, give to the music community, give to the listeners.
It's a beautiful thing for us to be able to invite others in, to join in, to be a literal part of bringing this value creation of new music to the world, and for folks to be able to participate as actual contributors to our collective and personal legacies as music co-creators and as recording artists. So, wow, we so appreciate that.
That's why I feel great to be a part of this. And I really feel like this Indiegogo campaign is allowing us to get music out that people really want to hear, because when they've heard this, there's been a real connection that's made when they hear it. And also, as you know, speaking from the band standpoint of view, that's what you really want, is to connect with people.